All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Notre Dame chokes against Ohio State in a game where they had no business losing. Notre Dame had so many opportunities to clinch this game. Whether it was the final offensive drive where they simply did not try to chew off the clock. They decided to try to run a lot of some vanilla plays, try to catch Ohio State running some screen type plays. But their offense just couldn't really get the job done as far as sealing it off. And defensively, they had like two or three chances to get picks. They had so many opportunities to pick off Kyle McCord on that final drive. They just failed to do it. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but man, the opportunities were there, and they kind of failed to deliver on that. But pretty much all game long. I mean, this was a terrific game, a terrific game. This is not the end of Notre Dame season, so no, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I'm trashing Notre Dame, but at the same time, I'm not because their season's not over, right? This is not like Clemson when they lost to Florida State tonight. Which, yeah, Clemson, their season is officially over. It was over against Duke, even though technically it's not, because, again, they could have, if they can win the ACC, they have a shot. But now, yeah, it's officially over for Clemson as far as making the playoffs. Notre Dame still has a chance. They still have a pretty difficult schedule, pretty tough schedule, even though it's mostly ACC competition. They do play USC, got to sneak in USC, and I think a couple other Pac-12 schools in there. So it's a nice mixture of ACC and Pac-12 and right, they're an independent, which they oh god, they need to join a conference. I'm so sick and tired of these independents. They need to join a conference, but it is what it is. But they still have a shot, right? As long as they continue to play at a high level, to play at an elite level, they still have a shot. The one thing though, and the one thing that I think kind of made me not choose Notre Dame to win because I didn't make any predictions. But Notre Dame had a great shot to win this game was because of their offense, right? Because they had Sam Hartman. And no, he's not. In my opinion, he's better than Ian Book. Ian Book was more mobile, but just purely as a pocket passer, I think Sam Hartman definitely was the better quarterback than Ian Book. So having that guy in there and seeing them spread the ball around with the fact that they can run the football, they have a great offensive line, they have they have a really, really solid defense. I just thought that this could have been this was the best chance for Notre Dame to beat Ohio State. I don't think that there's going to be a better year, at least for now, to potentially beat Ohio State and maybe become a national championship contender than this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Right, Sam Hartman did not come up big, and right, we got to give a lot of credit to Ohio State. Right, Ohio State's defense, man. They're really good. Ohio State's defense is very good. Their front used to be the weakness of this team, and you make an argument it's the strength of this team. Their secondary has greatly improved compared to what it was last year, and we all know those linebackers are pretty solid. With Eichenberg, who's not the best athlete, he's not the best linebacker in the world, but Eichenberg is just a very, very smart football player, very high IQ type player, and he's one of the leaders, if not the leader of the Ohio State Buckeyes team. So. Ohio State's defense has gotten way better compared to what it was last year, and that's what they're going to need. Because offensively, I don't think that they're nowhere near as good as they were last year, or when Justin Fields or Dwayne Haskins was leading this team. I just don't think they're at that level. They got the athletes. There's no question, right? You look at the 5-star talent, they got it. The offensive line, even though again I think that they missed DeJuan Jones and they missed Paris Johnson Jr. Like that's tough, replacing two tackles like that, two quality tackles like that, but their offensive line is still fine. You got the running backs with Travion Henderson, right? Like you got the personnel, including receivers with Marvin Harrison, Emeka Ibuka, Julian Fleming. Like you got the players to do it. But, again, it's not easy sometimes, replicating the success that their offense has done over the last, pretty much you can make an argument the last decade. Like their offense has been a main driving force for them winning games. And now, like I said, this is kind of like 2019 where even though 2019 was like the closest I think we've seen to like perfection from an Ohio State football team. Some people will say 2014. I think 2019 was a better overall year because of the regular season and of course the playoffs they messed up, but just I thought that was the better overall team. Ohio State's not at that level offensively. Like I said, maybe it's going to take some time in order for them to kind of figure it out and for that continuity, right? It's going to take them a little bit of time for them to click, but this defense is going to have to lead the charge. They won them this game tonight, right? Of course, give credit due to Kyle McCord because Kyle McCord made some plays, but Notre Dame, for the most part, man, Notre Dame blew it. Notre Dame kind of blew this game away, right? Right. Ohio State's defense were would make some plays. Ohio State's offense were able to finish off. Notre Dame messed up a lot of times throughout this game. They're going to look at this film. They're going to kick themselves. The fans, man, I don't even know what you would do if you're a Notre Dame fan, because this has been Notre Dame's biggest criticism. And I have no idea why Lou Holtz is talking trash, saying that Ohio State can't, that Ryan Day and Ohio State can't show up for big games. Lou Holtz, when was the last time Notre Dame won a big game? Right? What, Clemson? Clemson is the only team that you have beaten in the last, probably 5-6 years that was considered a big-time primetime game. You can't win in the playoffs. You can't win in the national championship when you were there in 2012. Like, what big games? What big games have you won, Lou Holtz? What big games have you won? And not just you for what you did throughout your entire career, but again, he is such, again, he's old. We understand it. He's old as all hell. It is what it is. But yeah, I understand Ryan Day's frustration. Like, bro, what big game has Notre Dame won that's actually meaningful? Right? Like, come on now. And here's another thing too before we end this video off. Why in the absolute hell did Notre Dame have 10 players on the field for the final play? Why in the hell did they have 10 players on the field? And they just called a timeout. It's not like they didn't have any, it's not like they didn't just call a timeout or anything like that. They just called a timeout to sort out the defense. And you still couldn't have all 11 players out there on the field. What in the hell is going on with Notre Dame? Jesus, my almighty. Of course, their season's not over. It's not over yet. They have a great chance to still make the playoffs. But my God, did they fuck up this game. They have completely fucked up this game. And a game that they should have won, they fucked up. But credit to Ohio State. It's a long season for them because you got Penn State and you got Michigan that you got to try to get through. But a great win overall wise for the Buckeyes.